I speak as the one who formed your breath and counted your days before any of them appeared. I am the keeper of beginnings and the author of endings, and nothing escapes the reach of my hand. You fear what you cannot calculate, but I am not a variable in your equation. I am the foundation upon which numbers and measures exist. When the fog closes in and the path seems to vanish, know this: I am not searching for your future. I am holding it. You have watched seasons shift and wondered if purpose was a rope that slipped through your fingers. Yet I tell you, purpose is not a rope you must grip. It is a covenant I carry. I do not draft your story in pencil, vulnerable to erasure by circumstance. I write with a sovereign hand that does not shake. Storms may spill across your horizon, voices may argue about your worth, but my decree outlasts the thunder and silences every false verdict. Consider the seeds that lie hidden under winter soil. Their silence is not a funeral, it is a promise under cover. So it is with you. What looks buried is being prepared. I am not late for your life, I am precise. The timing you call delay is the geometry of wisdom, aligning doors you cannot yet see. I am choreographing details beyond your knowledge, conversations, encounters, and mercies that will meet you at the appointed hour. You worry that the map is too torn to read, that choices made in haste have bent the rails of destiny beyond repair. Hear me. I do not mend with glue, I remake with glory. I do not need flawless materials to build what I envision. I choose ordinary clay to fashion vessels of honor. Your failures do not evict you from my purpose. They become altars where grace speaks more loudly than accusation. Lift your eyes from what collapsed and behold what I am raising. I am the architect who wastes no brick. The rubble that embarrasses you will become the testimony that steadies others. I do not consult your shame to design your tomorrow. I consult my own goodness. When I hold your future, I hold it not as a collector of fragile artifacts, but as a living gardener who prunes to multiply fruit and clears what chokes the vine. There are doors you tried to force and keys that never turned. Do not interpret a closed door as an empty future. I shield what is smaller than your calling. I refuse what would have kept you tame. I am not keeping you from joy. I am keeping joy from being stolen. Trust my refusal as much as you celebrate my yes. The path I prepare refuses to trade eternity for applause. I see you measuring yourself by the speed of others, by timelines that were never assigned to your name. You are not late. You are aligned. Delay is only dangerous when it hardens into unbelief, but it will become a blessing when it ripens into endurance. I am teaching your heart a rhythm that cannot be manipulated by fear. When you move with me, you will arrive on time to the place I already inhabit. Let your memory yield its tyranny. You need not replay the hour of regret. I have already spoken a higher word over it. Mercy is not an emotion I feel once. It is a river that never runs dry. When you return to me, you do not return to a courtroom with flickering lights. You return to a table I have set in honor. Sit and eat courage. Drink hope until your worries cannot pronounce their names. You have asked, what will I become? Hear me. You will become what my voice sustains. I have not called you to survive on crumbs of motivation. I will feed you with the bread of destiny. I will strengthen your small yes into a courageous obedience, and your obedience will open paths your talent could never purchase. I do not bargain with you. I bless you. I do not tempt you with mirages. I lead you to wells that do not disappoint. Pause with me here. If this word is speaking to you, like, comment, share, and subscribe so others can be strengthened and you can stay with these messages of faith. The horizon is not your judge. It is an invitation. Walk toward it with the assurance that I walk within you. The ground will rise to meet your steps because I have commanded it to bear your weight. When critics predict collapse, I decree stability. When fear draws diagrams of disaster, I draft blueprints of deliverance. I am not experimenting with your life. I am fulfilling a promise older than mountains. Listen to the quiet inside you. I placed that calm there. It is not denial, it is governance. I am teaching you to rule your inner weather so that no storm can commandeer your vessel. When accusations come like arrows, raise the shield of what I said. My word is not an opinion among many. It is the plumb line by which crooked lies are exposed. Hold to it, and you will not be bent by the hour. I have gone ahead of you into rooms you have not entered. I have whispered your name into the ears of those who will favor you for reasons they cannot explain. The same hand that lifts the sun has signed letters you have not read and reserved seats you do not yet see. Do not rush the door I am unlocking. Preparation is the escort of promotion. Let patience escort you with dignity. Do not fear the narrow path that costs you applause. Holiness is not a prison. It is the oxygen of purpose. I am not trying to make you smaller. I am unveiling your truest size. The compromises you refuse today will be the wings you wear tomorrow. Courage might tremble, but courage still moves. Walk with the tremble if you must. You will not walk alone. When you speak, let your words agree with what I have promised. Let the vocabulary of despair retire from your tongue. Speak the end from the beginning as I do, not because you can predict outcomes, but because I am the outcome that holds you. I have ordained that you create with your confession, planting declarations like seeds that rise into shelter for many. There will be mornings when the sky is a gray canvas, and evenings when silence feels heavy. In such hours, remember that I rule in the dark as fully as in the day. Do not measure my nearness by your sensations. Measure it by my covenant. I am nearer than the breath that just left your lips. I am closer than the thought you could not tame. I am your steady in every season. Some friendships will thin out as the journey clarifies. Do not mourn what I am pruning. I am not subtracting love. I am protecting momentum. Agreements matter, and I am aligning you with companions who carry faith like flint and encouragement like oil. The right voices will not flatter your fear. They will ignite your purpose. Walk with the wise and you will travel lighter. You have wondered whether the road of obedience will bankrupt your joy. Hear the truth. Joy is the inheritance of those who trust me. I do not exchange gladness for grit. I braid them together. Your tears will water fields of laughter. Your sacrifices will not expire into emptiness. They will mature into songs you will teach your children and the stranger at your gate. Lift your hands where you are and surrender the blueprint you drew without me. I am not offended that you tried. I am inviting you higher. Give me the pen and watch me revise with beauty. I will not erase what is precious. I will redeem what is painful. I will weave what seemed random into a tapestry that carries my signature in every thread. I have placed in you ideas that look too large for your present capacity. Good. Should stretch you like dawn stretches night. Do not despise the day of small beginnings, for small is the seedbed of great. Trust me for scaffolding you have not seen, for partners you have not met, for strength that visits you exactly when your knees start to shake. I am faithful in the hour of lifting. Even in conflict, keep your honor. You are not required to fight with every voice that calls your name. I will teach your hands to build more than they break and your tongue to bless more than it defends. I will be your advocate. I will contend with what contends with you, and I will grant you rest that cannot be stolen by headlines or rumors. Mark this day. You will look back and call it a turning, not because your circumstances instantly bowed, but because your heart finally stood in the stature I gave it. From this hour, you will navigate by promise, not panic. You will count faithfulness, not threats. You will find me not only at the destination, but in the cadence of every step. I am teaching you to read providence. What you called coincidence will reveal itself as choreography. The meeting you almost missed, the detour you resented, the door that would not cooperate. All of these have been woven into a wisdom you will one day articulate to those still living in hurry and fear. You will counsel from scars that glow, not wounds that bleed. Let gratitude be your discipline. It is not the shallow optimism of ignoring pain. It is the deep confession that I am at work within it. Thankfulness sharpens your sight. As you practice it, you will perceive the subtle ways I carried you when you thought you were crawling. You will notice the daily manna that kept your courage alive and your lamp from going out. Refuse the myth that your future dangles by the thread of human approval. I do not assemble destinies with fragile thread. I build with rock. I bind with covenant. I secure with oath. When I open a door before you, I also strengthen your spine to walk through it with humility and resolve. You will not sabotage what I give by grasping for what I withhold. Bring me the questions that multiply at night. I am not intimidated by the complexity of your doubts. I will answer some in the language of peace rather than paragraphs. I will answer others through the counsel of the wise and the confirmations of my word. And some I will hold until a fuller hour, not to tease you, but to protect you from knowledge that outruns your maturity.